Look at this handsome devil. You know him. You've killed thousands of them. The Ghoul, a mindless corpse eater, a radioactive zombie that lost the last shreds of human intelligence and now exists only to gnaw on bones in a graveyard. He stinks. He's stupid. And his only tactic is to rush you in a swarm until you unload a shotgun into his face. We are used to this image. Pop culture has sold us the idea that the Ghoul is just another type of undead. A little faster than a zombie, a little dirtier than a vampire, a level 1 mob for a warm-up. Forget everything you just saw. This is a lie that has lasted 300 years. The real Ghoul doesn't rot. He doesn't smell of decay. He doesn't run after you flailing his arms. The real Ghoul sits by the fire across from you. He looks like your mother, like your best friend, or like that beautiful girl asking for a ride to the city in the middle of a night highway. He smiles, he jokes, he knows your name, and he is much, much older than any video game.
Welcome to Just Mything Around, where myths get weird.
Today, we head into the Arabian desert to find the original. Put down your gamepads and, for the love of the gods, do not believe your eyes. Out here in the sands, what you see is exactly what will kill you. Part 1. Anatomy of Deception, the Hierarchy of Hell. To understand the true nature of our monster, we need to look at its passport, not its grave. And under race, it doesn't say undead, it says Jinn. This is the foundation that shatters our entire perception. In Islamic cosmology, the universe is divided among 3 types of sentient beings. Angels, created from light, obedient executors of heaven's will. Humans, made of sticky, heavy clay. And Jinn, beings born of al-nar, al-samum, smokeless, poisonous fire. The Ghoul is not a biological species. It is a social fall. It is the lowest, most lumpen class of the Jinn world. If Marids and Ifrits are the powerful aristocrats of the magic world, then Ghouls are the shaitans, rebellious spirits who rejected the laws and chose the path of blood. The word Ghoul itself comes from the ominous root jala, to seize, to snatch suddenly. But in ancient texts, this word has another, more terrifying meaning, the one who leads astray. For a Bedouin in the 7th century, the desert was an ocean of death. No maps, no GPS, just stars and intuition. And the deadliest enemy wasn't thirst, but hope. Chronicles describe thousands of cases where caravans found the bodies of experienced guides far from safe paths. They were led by light. The Ghoul lights a fire on the horizon. He creates the illusion of rescue, hospitality, the sounds of an oud and the smell of roasting meat. This isn't just magic. It is psychological sadism. The monster forces the victim to walk into the trap willingly, using their own desperation against them. Al-Jahiz, the famous 9th century Arab scholar, describes the Ghoul in his Book of Animals as the absolute mimic. He can become an ostrich to outrun a rider. He can pretend to be a stone to make a camel stumble. But his signature act is a human being. In folklore, the Ghoul rarely attacks in silence. He loves to talk. He takes the form of a fellow traveler, an old friend, or a relative. He knows names. He uses human social instincts, trust, and empathy as a lockpick to their defenses. However, ancient texts leave one detail that allowed only the most observant to survive: a bug in the disguise. No matter how perfect the facial illusion is, the Ghoul's legs never change. They remain bestial, the hooves of a donkey, ostrich claws, or hairy goat legs. This is the true horror of the story, the moment of realization. The hero of the legend sits by the fire, sharing bread with a person, laughing at a joke, and accidentally looks down. And in that moment, he realizes he is alone in the middle of the desert with a creature older than humanity, a creature that is simply playing with him before dinner. This isn't a zombie apocalypse. This is an intellectual duel. Part 2. Mechanics of Murder. The Curse of the Second Strike. When the mask drops and the fight begins, Mythology offers us a mechanic far more brutal than any modern hardcore game design. It is called the rule of one strike. Killing a ghoul isn't a question of strength or weapon caliber. It is a question of self-control. Legions clearly instruct the monster can be killed with ordinary steel, but the strike must be singular. One, fatal, but the death of a ghoul is also a deception. When the sword cleaves the monster's body, when the head rolls onto the sand, the real trial begins. The body doesn't fall silent. The head starts talking. It screams. It begs for mercy. Arabian tales, such as the story of Saif al-Muluk, describe this moment with incredible psychology. The fallen enemy implores the hero, "O warrior, you have killed me, but I am suffering. The pain is unbearable. Please be human. Strike me again. Finish me off. End my torment." Here, the reflex kicks in. The warrior instinct demands a controlled shot. The humanist instinct demands an end to the creature's suffering, but it is a trap. The second the blade touches the flesh a second time, magical regeneration is triggered. The second strike doesn't kill. It resurrects. The body instantly fuses back together. Wounds close, and the ghoul rises, fresh, full of strength, and immune to further attacks. In the tale of Saif al-Muluk, the daughter of the Jinn king says it plainly, "If you strike me a second time, I will live, and I will kill you." It is a nerf to humanity from the creators of the universe. To survive, a human must suppress both mercy and rage. They must stand over a screaming body that looks and sounds like a living being and coldly watch as life slowly drains out of it. Most folklore heroes survived only because they knew this secret beforehand. Without knowledge of this system bug, an ordinary person has no chance. Stop for a second. Interactive pause. Imagine the situation. Darkness, adrenaline, and an enemy begging for death at your feet. Could you hold your hand? Or would the reflex to finish it be faster than the thought? Write in the comments, "One strike" or "I'd strike twice." Be honest. And while you're typing, hit the subscribe button. It's the only click that definitely won't resurrect the monster, but it will help us fight the algorithms. Part 3. The Great Khan of Antoine, Gahalan. If the ghoul is an intelligent, shape-shifting Jinn, where did that rotten corpse eater we see in The Witcher come from? This crime against mythology has a specific perpetrator. His name is Antoine Gahalan. In the early 18th century, this French Orientalist gave Europe a gift, the translation of 1001 Nights. But Gahalan wasn't just a translator, he was a showman. He understood the market, and the French market of that time demanded Gothic horror. Europe was going crazy over stories about vampires, open graves, and the walking dead. A desert demon that hunts living travelers and drinks warm blood seemed too exotic and confusing to Gahalan. He needed a monster that would fit into European fears. So Gahalan takes his quill and begins to rewrite the canon. In the story of Sidi Numan, he forces his ghouls to leave the desert and settle in graveyards. He makes them dig up fresh graves and gnaw on old bones. He effectively conducted a genetic experiment, crossing an Arabian Jinn with a Slavic vampire. The result exceeded expectations. The image of the graveyard scavenger went viral. It inspired H.P. Lovecraft. In his story, Pickman's Model, ghouls are dog-like creatures stealing corpses in Boston. Lovecraft read Galan, not the originals. And from Lovecraft's works, this image migrated unchanged into the tabletop game Dungeons and Dragons. Gary Gygax simply copied the stats. And so, after 300 years of a game of telephone, we have Fallout, Warcraft, and The Witcher, where ghouls are just scavengers. The real Arabian ghoul would be deeply offended by such a diet. Eating carrion? For a higher spirit of fire, that is disgusting and unhygienic. Ghouls are gourmets of fear. They need life, not rot. But Galan stole more than just their diet. He stole their gender, because in the original, the most dangerous ghoul is almost always a she. Part 4. Body Horror. The Legend of Aisha Kandisha. The myth of the ghoul didn't die in the Middle Ages. It evolved and adapted. In modern Morocco, if you ask locals about Aisha Kandisha, the conversation will likely end abruptly. Men look away. Women whisper prayers. For the people of the Maghreb, she is not a fairy tale character, but a real, living threat. The historical roots of this legend lead to a real figure, a 16th century female warrior who waged a guerrilla war against Portuguese colonizers. They say she lured soldiers into ambushes with her beauty and killed them. But folk memory transformed the heroine into a monster, creating the most terrifying piece of body horror in North African folklore. Aisha Kandisha appears at night near water, rivers, springs, even sewer drains. Water in Islam is a portal for Jinn. She appears in the form of a woman of incredible beauty. She doesn't attack, she calls, and the scariest part, she calls the victim by name. Moroccan stories tell of men who, upon hearing the call, fell into a trance. This is the magic of the Silat, succubus Jinn. The victim walks willingly into the arms of death, hypnotized by the promise of love. But when the man gets close, when he touches her, he sees the legs, camel or goat hooves, the mark of the beast. An encounter with Aisha Kandisha doesn't always end in physical death. That would be too merciful. Legends say she drinks men. Those who escaped her arms return home empty. They lose their minds, their virility, their will to live. They wither and go mad. She takes their baraka, their life energy. This fear is so real that in Morocco, there are entire rituals of the Ganawat Brotherhood, trance music ceremonies designed to heal those who have met Kandisha. People pay real money to be saved from a mythical creature. Aisha Kandisha is the perfect modern ghoul. She reminds us that beauty does not equal safety, that what we desire most can be a trap. Conclusion. So, why did we choose the lie? Why did we agree to the version from Galan and Fallout? Because a stupid zombie is easy to understand. His motives are simple. Hunger. He is easy to kill. Shoot until he drops. He is part of nature, like a rabid dog. But the real Arabian ghoul is something else. It is the uncanny valley in action. It is a creature that is intelligent like us, but absolutely alien. It has culture, language, humor, family, and yet it sees us only as food and a toy. It is the fear that we are not the top of the food chain, that there is a predator who can outplay us intellectually, using our own empathy against us. We dumbed down ghouls in our games to feel safer. We took away their magic, their voice, and their mind to convince ourselves that we control the darkness. But the desert remembers, and the desert does not forgive carelessness. So next time you meet a ghoul in Fallout or The Witcher, thank the developers that it just growls and lunges at you. That's easy. A real ghoul wouldn't growl. A real ghoul would call you by your name, and you would walk up to him yourself.
This was just mything around. Don't follow the lights at night.